What is up, you guys? This is Joey. Welcome back to the channel. And today I want to talk to you guys about psychic abilities, quote unquote psychics, and to try to bring some awareness on the whole term psychic or psychic abilities. And because I've come across people from time to time who really view like psychic gifts and psychic abilities as like parlor tricks that we have, or that people who are who do have what do you call it, elevated psychic abilities, and they think that we have like it's a parlor trick, or some sort of magic trick or something like that, or they look at you like it's like a joke, you know what I'm saying? They take you like for a joke, but yeah, I wanted to touch bases on that, so let's talk about it. Okay, so first I want to tell you guys, like, let's go over like psychic abilities. Okay, there are many different psychic abilities. Okay, so first and foremost, I don't go around calling myself a psychic, you know what I'm saying? Because I can guarantee you that none of you on here have ever heard me call myself a psychic, you know what I'm saying? I don't do that. I got spiritual abilities. That's why I more so lean to spiritual abilities, or I may have what people consider as psychic abilities too. But to call somebody a psychic, that's a blanket term. That's very, very vague, because there's so many different psychic abilities that a person can have. And just because you have a spiritual gift, or you have a quote unquote psychic ability, doesn't mean that you have all of them, And that's why I don't like the term psychic, because it can be very, very misleading to people who are on the outside looking in, who don't know nothing about it, Because that's when you come across people who say stupid stuff like, oh, well, you have psychic abilities, or you're psychic, so tell me what color shirt I got on. Tell me what I ate for breakfast. Bro, that shit don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean when I say people take it for a joke. You know what I'm saying? They say, oh, you should have known who I was and da-da-da before I even contact you, da-da-da. Psychic abilities do not work like that. And that the only people that think like that and that carry themselves like that are people who don't have developed psychic abilities. Like, they don't even know, because if you knew about it, then you wouldn't even come to somebody like that. You wouldn't even approach somebody like that and have that kind of like, let that come out your mouth, But let's get on to the different psychic abilities. And this is just some of them, There's probably some more. I'm not even gonna go into all of that, because we ain't gonna be here all night, Because it's, what is it? What time is it for me? It's 10 o'clock for me, 10 p.m. So we have telepathy. And telepathy is the ability to pass on information, ideas, impressions, feelings, moods, thoughts with other living beings. That's without talking to them. So you can communicate with other people, express your thoughts, feelings, whatever, moods and whatever, without actually talking to the other person. Okay, then we have precognition. Precognition is being able to predict future events, what some people call prophesizing, just having premonitions and stuff like that. Okay, then we have what is called mediumship. Okay, a medium or a channel, is what I refer to it as, a channel. And that's what I did tell people that on here too, that I might be able to channel messages sometimes. Okay, but a medium or a channel refers to someone who can connect with the spiritual realm and to convey messages between people and supernatural beings such as angels, spirits, your ancestors, blase blase. Okay, so then we have telekinesis, sort of like what the girl used on that horror movie called Carrie. Something like that, you know what I'm saying? Some horror movie shit. But nah, that's not what telekinesis is being able to move objects through the power of your human consciousness without the aid of using like your hands or other instruments that actually touch that object. Being able to make shit levitate, move, without actually touching it, And then we have apportation, which is a type of ability that when you're able to make an object appear or disappear without actually touching the actual object. Okay, sort of like in if you are familiar with the Harry Potter series, when they would apparate, you know, they would teleport, you know, from one place to the next place, you know, like pop, they will pop out of this place and then they will pop into another place, you know. Then we have clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is like a clear seeing, you know. I feel that clairvoyance is one of the more so like common ones too, but it's the ability to use your senses to see images and see visions, you know. You're able to maybe see objects in your mind, future events, past events, different locations, people, you know, different things, you know. Then we have clairaudience. That's the ability to hear things, you know. And that's when you see a lot of readers saying, oh, I just heard this song. Oh, I just heard XYZ. I just heard someone say this phrase. I just heard, you know, that's clairaudience. You're able to see, you're able to hear things, you know. And this could be information coming from spiritual beings, could come from your higher self, whatever, you know, source, and in the form of music, messages and sounds, okay, lyrics, all that stuff, okay. And then we have clairsentience. Now, clairsentience is being able to feel. That's what empaths have, you know, clairsentience, because they're able to pick up on the vibes, you know, the emotions, the feelings, you know, and stuff like that, you know. And we have another one that's called clairgustance, you know. Is it clairgustance or clairgustance? Whatever, one of those. Clairgustance. Okay, we're gonna go with that. Nah, let me Google it right quick, because not Clairol. Yeah, clairgustance. Okay, so that's the ability to be able to smell things, or to be able to use the sense of smell to recall certain events, messages. You just pull messages and information through that way, through smell. Like that, you might receive a certain smell that reminds you of a certain thing, and then that, you know, leads you to the information that you need or to receive. Okay. And being that I said all those different abilities, there are maybe more out there. There's more that I didn't cover, okay? But those are the ones that I'm just touching base, that I touched base on today. So those are just a few gifts that a person can have, or a few abilities that a person can have. Now, to say someone is psychic and then think that they have all those abilities is asinine. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have all those. Because who's to say somebody may be able to develop those things later on in their life, or in different parts, different stages of their life and spiritual growth and development. But we don't just come out and just have all those things and just, you know, just have all that stuff. You know, some of us are more in tune. Some of us are more clairvoyant than we're clairgustance, you know, clairgustance, whatever. Some of us are more, you know, we have more like, we can use, what do you call it? Telepathy, you know, we can use stuff like that. Some of us can, what's this thing? Let me see this list. Cause y'all trying to get me to think and remember shit. Hang on, I ain't with all that. But some of us might be more so empaths, you know, and mediums and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that just because you have psychic abilities that you have all these, everything that are listed on that list. You know what I mean? Come on now, like, this is me. I'm telling you the truth here. It doesn't work like that. And no, it doesn't work like you can't just say, oh, well, you have psychic abilities, then you could predict the lottery. They don't work like that. A lot of people take this for a joke and think it's a game, but they don't realize that a lot of us who are spiritually developed and have these abilities, that it wasn't an easy road. Like, you didn't just wake up. I just woke up, like, whatever. You didn't just wake up and you just have all these and you're just comfortable with it and you just know everything, or you have these heightened abilities and you're they're all developed and you know how to use them and all this stuff and everything is peachy keen and it's just like a whole world of Harry Potter and all this shit like that. No, it doesn't work like that. A lot of us have gone through a lot of trials, a lot of lessons, a lot of tribulations. We've gone through a lot of hard times to make it to where we are, to where we're able to use those gifts that we have, you know, more successfully, or more with more control, or, you know, there's still some things that I have that I can't control, but at the same time, that's out of my control. You can't sit and tell somebody like, well, all you got to do is do X, Y, Z, da, 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 da. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? What works for you might not work for the next man or woman, you know? We're all individuals and we're all on individual paths or whatever. Some of you guys who don't have access to your spiritual abilities might later on be getting them. You know what I'm saying? You might be developing them now, you know, and don't even realize it, you know. But for me, I only can speak on myself. And it's like, I was actually like, I don't know. I was going to say I was born this way. Like a lot of us are, you know, I was born, you know, with heightened psychic abilities. And I think that we are more so in touch with our psychic abilities when we're children, because we don't have all these blocks and these limitations that we have when we get older, you know, we're going to, you know, our teenage years and adulthood or whatever, where we have external conditionings that might teach us that it is wrong to have these psychic abilities, or teach us that we are crazy, try to tell us that we're crazy, or, you know, to have XYZ, or this is of the devil and da 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 da, ooh, all this spooky boogeyman shit, you know, and which could in turn like cause you to block off your spiritual gifts, you know. But with me, I can say that at an early age, my third eye and all that was open, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of spiritual things would happen to me. I would have dreams, I would have premonitions, I would have you know, I would dream of future events. I would have people, you know, spirit guides come to me in my dreams and reveal information to me when I was a kid. You know, I was in elementary school, primary school, and all this stuff was happening to me. But it's like, at the time when it was happening to me, I wasn't scared, because a part of me, like, I feel that it's innate in me, you know, it's innate for me to be this way, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really feel scared to be experiencing the things that I experienced. You know, I saw like demonic entities and, you know, angelic beings, and, you know, I saw all that stuff, you know, and it's like at an early age, and it kind of made me feel like, you know, different than a lot of people my age. And the thing is that like this kind of stuff runs in my family, so it's like I did have people to talk to about it. I had people to, you know, to say, oh, you know, what about this and da 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 da, you know, whatever, you know. So I did have that support right there, but at the same time, it's like I couldn't really necessarily connect with my peers, because they weren't going through shit like this. They was out playing, you know, playing ball and playing whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I was sitting here going through Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. I don't know. Now I did, you know, have, you know, did things like other kids do, you know, have my little toys, my little games, you know, go shopping for toys and stuff like that, go on trips and stuff like that. I did go through all of that, do all that stuff. But at the same time, there was a hidden aspect that I kept hidden from other people. And that was my spiritual life, you know. That's my spiritual abilities. Even when I was young, I remember being able to like pick up on people's thoughts, pick up on people's feelings and emotions. And this would be things that they wouldn't be telling me, you know, that they didn't like reveal to me. I'll be able to tell if somebody was bad, you know, for me, or they had bad intentions to me, or they had some other kind of intentions, or they had like good intentions. If they were like welcoming and pleasant and, you know, like a positive vibe to be around, you know, I would pick up on all that stuff. But I didn't really think about it as a child. I just lived it, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't start thinking about it until I got older, until questions came into play, like religion and all that stuff. You know, when people telling you, oh no, you can't do this, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, because this is of, you know, the devil and da 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 da, you know, all this BS, you know what I'm saying? And that in a way, in my younger years, kind of like scared me and pushed me away from my psychic abilities or my spiritual abilities, and made me not want to delve into it, you know. I even started like, you know, reading cards when I was in early on in high school. You know what I'm saying? I was just naturally drawn to it, you know, as a tool to use to help me tap into my spiritual abilities as well, you know, different sides of it, you know. And there was other things that I would experience that I didn't need to use cards for, like, and things that I experience now to this day that I don't need to use cards for. Channeling messages, I don't use cards for. I still have dreams sometimes, and you know, the list goes on, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that, but yeah, it's like over the years I went through phases, you know what I'm saying? I went through questioning my religious beliefs at the time, you know, because that's what I grew up, you know, different religions that I grew up in or learning about, you know. Yeah, I said different religions that I, you know, but as I didn't really like get comfortable with it until going through certain traumatic events in my life, you know, near-death experiences, you know, seeing traumatic different experiences happen to other people right in front of my face and stuff like that. You know, a lot of different things took place in my life that really shaped me into the person that I am today. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's more so tapped in than before, because now I don't let things limit me. I don't let things hold me back from my true self, you know, my true spiritual self. You know, we're all, you know, spiritual beings, or whatever you want to call it, soul beings or whatever, inside of a human body. So yeah, we do deal with limitations, but at the same time, we are innately who we are, you know, without books, you know, without external influences, people telling you what is right, what is wrong, you know, or what path you should follow and what path to not follow. You know, when you, like, let's say you put yourself in a room, in a dark room by yourself, and you don't got nobody in there, nobody to talk to, it's just you alone, you and your brain, your mind, you know. It's like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? And that's where I found out who I was, you know, because like I said, at an early age, I already knew, I already had an idea, I had a clue, you know. I was different than the norm, you know. I was different than the mainstream people, you know, because I had all these different spiritual events, spiritual things happening to me, you know, that these religions that I was brought up in didn't touch bases on, and didn't acknowledge, or didn't explain, or couldn't explain, not in a you know, in what do you call it, not in a way that made sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, I'm not even gonna touch on that. But anyways, it's like, not till I start going through those different experiences, I mean, I went through some stuff, you know what I'm saying? And people might look at me now and say, oh, because I did have people back in the days that would say, oh, he lives a good life, he ain't got no problems, da da da, you know, that's how they looked at me. Oh, his parents came from money, da da da, he got this, he got that, he could do this, da da da. But it's like, y'all don't know what I'm going through. You don't know, you know. You could look at me on the outside and think you know what's going on, but you don't know what the hell is going on in my life. You don't know me, you know what I'm saying? Even I get even people who watch these videos and they think that they just know me. It's like, bro, people grew up with me, don't even know me, you know what I'm saying? So how the hell you think you're gonna watch a little video here and there and think you know me? You don't know me like that. You gotta get to know me better, but you're never gonna fully know me, because hell, I don't even fully know myself either. I'm learning myself every day that I live, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning something new about myself. And that's the beautiful thing about life and your spirituality and your spiritual journey, is that you should be out here learning something new about yourself and about the world and whatever on a daily basis. A fool is a person who stops learning and think that they knows everything. If you're know-it-all, you're dumb as hell, period. I mean, that's just how I feel on it. Like, I come across so many know-it-alls. They didn't know everything, you know. They can read a book and now they're an expert on something. That is ignorance in a whole other different level. But my thing is that when you're on your spiritual journey, you should be learning new things, and you shouldn't be afraid of who you are spiritually. You shouldn't be afraid of it. If you're someone who has premonitions, if you're someone who has dreams, if you're someone who is an empath, if you're someone who is clairvoyant, claircognizant, if you're clairgustant, you know, all the other things. If you got telepathy or whatever, you could use that, whatever. Don't be afraid of it, because it's who you are, you know. The more you turn away from these things, it's the more you take your own power away from you, or you block your own power off. And those gifts are blessings. You know what I'm saying? Those gifts are blessings. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. You know, they think they take it for a joke because they may not be fully developed like somebody else is. And they take it, oh, you're psychic, you should know, da 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 da. They take it for a joke. It's not a game, you know? Being an empath comes with a price. You pick up on all different kinds of emotions and different feelings and vibes from people that you don't want to pick up. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have to be around a lot of people on a daily basis, a lot of different energies on a daily basis. That shit can get like very tiring. You know, it could get hard. And that's what people don't realize, is that it's not all fun and games. It's not a joke. It's not, you know, it's not like a parlor trick. I'm not a magician who could pull a rabbit out of a hat. You know, it's not real. You know, I just want people to be more cognizant of our differences, and instead of like judging people. That's just the same how people will judge and say, oh, you do cards, that's satanic. You don't know what I do. Like that kind of stuff. That I'm just being real here, but that kind of stuff makes me very tight. You know, it makes me tight. It makes me like annoyed, because it's like, it's 2021 and there's so much knowledge out here for people to get. There's so many ways and avenues that you can access this knowledge. You know, you could go on Google, you could ask somebody, you know, you could go to the library, you could, God forbid, you get off your ass and you tap in and you do the necessary work that you need to do on yourself to be able to tap into your own spiritual knowledge and spiritual power. So that way you wouldn't come at people, you know, with the foolishness, with the negativity, you know, and try to make it seem like their existence or their abilities, their gifts are jokes, you know, because it's not a joke out here. We do a lot, and a lot of time, a lot of us people who are spiritually developed do a lot of work to help people as well, you know. A lot of us are, quote unquote, what they label. I don't like labels, but a lot of them are what they call, quote unquote, like light workers and stuff, who are out here doing work, you know, for the team, you know, taking one for the team, you know. And people don't realize that that also comes with with a heavy price to pay too, because then you got people attacking you for no reason. You know, you're doing light work and there's people out here doing dark work or whatever, you know, whatever you want to call it, whatever we want to, what label you want to put on it. But there's always going to be an opposition for whatever team you're playing on. You know what I'm saying? So if you're out here trying to spread love to people, trying to uplift people, trying to, you know, help people heal and guide them towards empowerment, there's always going to be somebody who is trying to do the opposite, trying to tear people down, trying to stop you from building people, lifting people up, you know? So all this stuff comes with a price. It's not like fairy tales. It's not all fun and games, you know. There is a lot of good things that come out of it too. You know what I'm saying? That you get to help people, and that you just tapped in and you're being your natural self, and you can know things. You can use the abilities that you have to make certain decisions that you need to make in your life, you know, to put you on the right path in your life, you know. And that's what I use. Like, I'm gonna talk in another video about different types of tarot readers, you know, and that's why I call myself, quote unquote, an intuitive reader and a channeler, you know, because there's different readers, right? Short form. There's readers who just memorize cards, memorize the meanings on the cards, and then there's ones who use their intuition and their spiritual abilities in the readings also to channel messages and all that stuff. Each is okay. I'm not saying one is better than the other one, but there's different forms of stuff. You can't, I'm just tired of people putting labels on people, and then the labels are vague, and they think that, oh, well, you read cards, they mean you do this, do da da da, you got crystal balls, or you throw chicken bones and you da da da. Like, no, bruh, sis, no, it don't work like that. There's levels to this stuff, you know. There's different people. There's different types of people out here, you know. But I'm gonna touch bases on that a little later. But that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Okay, if you guys ever have any topics that you want me to talk about or share my opinion on, if I have any information on that, just let me know down in the comment section, and I'll be glad to touch bases on the things that I do have any information about, because you know your boy don't know it all, you know what I'm saying? But the stuff that I do know about, I will, you know, be happy to share that with you guys. Okay, thanks for tuning in, you guys. Much love and light. Take care, you guys. Ciao.